Hello people, now welcome to the practical presentation of the equipment I want to show you. The solar cells, in practical you have some for camping, some small devices, you can open it, put it in the sun, and maybe smartphone, you can recharge a smartphone with it, very nice, made in China. You have here a frame to put in it, and you have a lot of plugs. By the way, it's not a stable voltage, it's very unstable. So you need somehow a voltage regulator to charge the smartphone or anything else, but that's available. It's a DC-DC converter, a DC-DC converter. Okay, that's a small size, even smaller size, yeah. We sometimes have it for water systems. But here the bigger one, if you go with your family for camping or you have a blackout somehow. So this one, it's an amorphous type of solar cells. You see it from the color, it's more black. And this is a little bit blue. This is a polysilicon. And this is amorphous or thin. It's made by dust. By the production it's more easy because it's more flat. Never mind. This is more compatible also if there is not full sunshine. If it's a bit cloudy, you see it's flashing already, that means electricity is already produced. And this is very portable. Close it, you take it with you wherever you go. And with this one you can charge, for example, this one, this device. And this is a power station or power module which has an output of 12 volt. Normally they have only 5 volt for charging the smartphone, but this one has a 12 volt output and it's a high current output. And on this output, that's why this is very interesting, it's about $60. You can connect the inverter. This is one inverter. It makes 150 watt, which is enough for a smartphone and even some LED lights. So you can directly connect this to the output of this power module, and then you have some hours, maybe 3-4 hours, you have electricity, 220 volt or 110 volt, depends wherever you are living, for whatever you need. So this is a nice device. Also have some light is integrated in it. You can already have a, I think you press it a bit longer, then you can have a light for to have the room lightened up, also flashing. Good. Made in China, they make good equipment, so we should stay in peace with China. That's my message. Okay, this power module inverter makes you already, and this, let's say, cell, a complete system, not really. This voltage is not compatible to this one, as you have seen in the PowerPoint. So you need here another electronic equipment called DC-DC converter for not to put too much voltage to this unit. This is going by 5 volt and 9 volt. I think you know already. I told you already. Yeah. Okay. Another one. This one is it's a DC-DC converter for laptops, for notebooks, and you have a multi-range outputs from 15 volt to 24 or 12 volt to 24 volt, full range, very good, and even USB. And also you can connect directly to this lithium power module to connect your laptop directly on this device. So very small and tiny, very useful. I use it many times and very efficient to ensure that you always have power on your laptop. Okay, this is a smaller device, small devices. Whenever you charge a battery, be careful not to overcharge a battery. You can destroy it. As you know, this is one old solar charge controller to protect the battery. I made it by myself, it's quite old already. And you can also make it by yourself for, let's say, 20 amperes. Yeah. There's another one. They are not so expensive anymore. And here is a MPPT type of solar charge controller. You see the batteries, plus minus, don't make it wrong. PV, photovoltaic, the solar cells, also plus minus. And then here the load output means when the battery is empty, the 12-volt load is disconnected. But don't connect the inverter to this load output. That's not the right way. You connect the inverter, 12 volt to 220 volt or 24 volt, directly to the battery. This load protects the battery, that it's not deep discharged. If it's discharged too low, that's not very good. But here it's more representing the devices. So you see here the frames, and this is a MPPT charge controller. Maybe I write it somewhere in here. I think so. Solar made charge controller, which ensures that the maximum is taken out from the solar cell. They call it MPPT technology. MPPT. And this is state of the art. Yeah, here you see there's also MPPT solar. This one is specified for 100 ampere. And if you look to it, you know that's not right. That's not right. That's a fake. It doesn't work for 100. I tried. It's failed. So be careful what you buy. Not the cheapest one. Maybe 20 ampere. It's okay, but not 100 ampere. That's not possible with this one. Okay, this one is the equipment for charging the battery. And now we have the devices for discharge the battery. For example, loading nickel cadmium cells. This one is for USB. And as you know, you can directly connect it to here. So this is useful if there is power failure. For example, that you have a charger for this NEMH batteries AAA, AA, directly from these modules. I think they are still interesting. And there's one to recharge these batteries directly from the solar cell. I give it as a present in Papua New Guinea and say you can make a business. You sell the rechargeable batteries to the people, then they bring it to you, you charge it here, you put it in the sun, and then they pay you something. And they made some business. Here you see the charging current, and also have a small lamp. And this is for very simple villages where they have no sun. You can give the people the chance to have a little bit a radio or a torch for whatever. And you see the different sizes of the battery is compatible in here. Small and tiny and very nice. Okay, this one is a not so fashion anymore. It's 12 volt, very rarely for 12 volt, and it's an energy saving lamp. But now they are more and more replaced by LED lamps. Yeah, but this is very much saving energy device. Saving energy device. What else will you have here? You see something? Yes, you do. This is the inverter, which is for 220 volts with 2000 watt. So if you have a fridge, or let's say for a shower, you need more power. This one is only 150 watt. So this is a big device with 2000 watt with surge power, I think, of 3000 watt. That means starting a fridge can take 10 times more energy than during the running. Let's say 50 watt is the running energy, and starting it's 500, 800 watt. So this inverter needs a surge power, a surge capability of maybe 30% or 50%. Yeah, you see here for the batteries, for 2000 watt, it's 100 ampere, so you need big cable. And on the other side, you see the outputs for these 220 volt devices. By the way, this is not a sine wave. It's called. It's not a poor sine wave. Yeah, it's a rectangular. So this is good for laptop or for the fridge or whatever. But for the radio, you can have some distortion in the radio. So this is not so expensive. I don't know, $200 maybe, but it's not first quality. The first quality is poor sinus, and now the poor sinus inverter is also not so expensive anymore. Okay, now we have a complete station in here, which you can see here. This one is all in one, all is integrated. Let's make on. You see already here the USB outputs for charging your smartphone and of your family and everybody. Yeah. And then you have the DC output of 12 volt. If you have a 12 volt device, I don't know, maybe. You have input. Here also output for this plug from the car. It's output here, 12 volt. Then you have the input here from 220 volt. Fast charging. So it's charging in about 90 minutes or 1 hour and a half for 100%. Yeah. Or you charge from the solar input. You can also have two different inputs, 200 watt, 300 watt. All together makes 500 watt. And this energy is stored in a lithium LiFePO4. LiFePO4, that means a specified lithium accumulator. And an inverter transfers it to a sine wave output with 4 plugs in here. So instead of an engine with 2000 watt, this makes 1500 watt, which is quite good. For most devices, it's enough, 1500 watt. And the capacity is 1125 watt hours. That means 1 hour. You can look on the back side. It's about 15 kilograms. 1228 watt hours. It means this 1.2 kilowatt for 1 hour, or 600 watt for 2 hours, or 300 watt for 4 hours. Something like that. Yeah, that's what you can take out from this device. Keep in mind, this model, when you are charging the batteries, the outputs are switched off. There are some more expensive devices. When you charge it, you can have at the same time, you can take the power out. This one cannot do that. I think that's called flow through or drive through. This, by charging also from solar, low output in here. That's not so nice. But you have two systems, then it's not a problem, but that's the case. Okay, this is for a tiny house. Enough. Yeah, in a tiny house, we can go the next to the tiny house. It's a complete power supply by solar cells. I'm using it already. 220 watt outputs, and all outputs can be switched. Now the outputs are on. Now the USB ports are on. The USB ports are on, and the DC ports. All you can switch on and off independent. Okay. Anyway, last but not least, this is a charger by 220 volt. So in case, like in Ukraine, when there is war or something happens, you have 1 hour electricity. And then in this time, you can charge your battery as much as you can. Yeah. And then live from your battery the rest of the time. You don't need to charge by solar. Also in the winter, you don't have so much solar. So this time you buy a charger by 220 volt, charge the batteries, and then you have rest of the day you have time or to listen to your music or looking your movie or whatever you want. Yeah, charging by 220 volt. Okay, let's go now to our tiny house. It's a completely independent autonomous house, you can see in here. That means you don't need any electricity from outside. You see the solar cells on the roof. It's only 20%. It's enough. Could do more, but it's not necessary. And you see the rainwater collection in here. And the rainwater is converted to potable water. On both sides, there is this water tank. Okay, come with me. We are going inside. Don't fall down here. Careful. Okay, you see solar energy. The light is on. And here is one another solar system here. I installed it today. It's very new. You know already, this is solar charge controller. MPPT, showing the charging current and whatever. And what is it? The inverter, that's correct. This is transforming the power of the two batteries, each is 100 ampere hours, to 220 volt. In this case, it's 500 watt. which is okay for me now with my laptop, and I make my tea with it, with the immersion heater and so on. So this fits quite well, but later on I put the other, let's say, power station. If I need more energy, then I take the bigger one for my heating system for the shower. Then you need 1500 watt. So this is a complete solar system with a cable coming from the roof, going to the battery, but by this charge controller, the inverter. And if you don't have a display, you can have here also a voltmeter to see the voltage of the batteries. Yeah. You see, this is specified for solar. So if you take car batteries, you can use it, but they don't last so long. Be careful, it can be 5-6 years, but normally after 3 years, because they are not really made for solar. In solar, you need a lot of cycles. So it's better to have specific solar batteries. That's another topic. We have talked already about that. Okay, now we take a look. This is a heating system. There's another from timber heating and also for cooking with gas. And also you can make it by yourself, natural gas. It's quite nice. I want to show you now the rainwater is transferred by this reverse osmosis. It's a direct flow. You hear the pump. It's a pressure pump, and this is the reverse osmosis water. It's a clean water from the rainwater or from the seawater, or you can take a urine, whatever you want. This is making complete cleaning, including a remineralizator that puts back minerals to the cleaned water, because it's very clean, the water. That's another topic, but this is part of this water system that you can really go by rainwater. Okay, people, let's go up, and then we are going to another place. So you can put this tiny house wherever you want. Yeah, Michael shows a little bit around. One for the child, for the parents. You see, it's nice place for maybe 2-3 people to stay. Okay, here the water pump to pump the water from down up to here to the tank with 150 liter, with a filter, with a pre-filtering, and also making the pressure for the water in the house. Yeah, you need 3 bar. Yeah, and this pump ensures the distribution of this water in the house, and also filling the tank. So you have to switch manually the flow, filling or empty. And next to it you see the heater for the shower. It's a 60 liter heater with 1500 watt, and that you have hot shower, also going by solar. In the midtime I switch it on by timer, and they say the temperature remains for more than 24 hours. 48 hours, I don't believe that, but it takes long until the temperature is down. So in the midtime, when there is enough energy, you store the energy as heat, as hot water. Yeah, and that's all. That's all what you need to be independent. Yeah, no money for electricity, no money for water. That's nice. That's cool. Okay, we're not at a small accident, no problem. To make it more interesting. Yeah, if we go